I think my passion for small business really started with my father, because one of the greatest joys in his career was when he was a management consultant, and he was able to be independent. At the time, he told me he was being paid $100 a day, and that was a big deal. And I was able to help him out putting together some manuals, and I really saw his passion for feeling like he was, even though he had to do everything, he also was in control of his fate. And that's where the bug began. Then I got involved with IBM after working as a manager of Radio Shack. I realized I wanted to do more, and where did I want to go next? And the thing that attracted me the most was IBM, because I thought it was the premier company to work for. So I set my sights on working for IBM, and it took over 4 years of leaving Radio Shack, going to Wake Tech, getting into a co-op program, and then relentlessly, after being in the co-op program with IBM and field service, staying in touch with the field manager, Don Kate. And after 4 years of giving him updates almost every 6 months of what I was doing, and said, Don, I just want you to know I learned these new skills, so when you hire me at IBM, I'll be ready for you. He finally responded. He answered the phone one day. He says, Martin, I'm either going to have to hire you or call the police. There's just no other way about it. And I said, well, I was really upset. I said, Don, I really want to work there. I don't mean to be a burden to you, but I want to keep you updated. He says, no, I'm really calling you to give you a job. I want to bring you in on the project, and then I know where I'll place you later, because I've never seen someone so relentless to get into IBM. Well, fast forward 7 years later, I found out that the corporate world was not the right fit for me. I took one of their Myers-Briggs type test, and I remember them saying, notice these are all the indicators of 90% of the IBMers, and you personally do not overlap in any of the points. And I realized, my gosh, I don't fit into this environment. I'm really more of an independent thinker that works better on my own. So I thought, what would I do next? And I was studying neurolinguistic programming, and then helping with the class. And someone in the class said, you know, you have a gift for coaching, really guiding people and getting them what they want, both as a teacher and others. I looked into it and I went, this is interesting. And then I started pursuing it, and there really wasn't, in 1991, there really wasn't a coaching program available that I knew of. So I started looking for people who were making a living as a coach, and I found life coaches and business coaches, and I'd hire them to teach me the ropes of what were going on. And I noticed that my customers at IBM often said the greatest experience of working with me wasn't helping them with their problems on the job as far as the computers. It was the advice I gave them just talking to them. That was the validation that I might have a gift in hearing what people need to do next to move forward in their life, and also a real passion for helping people live their dreams. But if you're going to live your dreams, you have to make a good living, to support these dreams. And that's what drove me to becoming a success coach. And in 1995, I left IBM, went on my own. I had a side PC business, and I kept it going for a while until I was sure that I had enough success that I could let it go. Sold it to the gentleman, and he's still doing it. He's raised several kids on this. And I got into basically business life coaching, which I called success coaching back then, integrating your life successful along with your business success. And it continued to grow. From working with small businesses, which is what I love the most. And let me tell you why I love small businesses. Sometimes in a larger corporation, people get lost in managing the perception of indicators versus really serving the customer and really creating value and really making money. Well, if you've got an ice cream shop, you've got to deliver actually the ice cream. And you have to keep those people who come in the door happy enough that they'll want to come back and buy it from you again. So there's an intrinsic integrity in a small and micro business that's very appealing to me. So it's almost like if you had a coffee shop and you weren't absolutely the best person, you're a good person, but not the best person. But if you don't deliver an honest cup of coffee and follow through with the integrity of taking care of your customers, you're out of business. That's something very appealing to me. It's a grounding phenomenon that the micro business, in many ways, I understand the integrity of it better than I understood the corporate world, where sometimes, again, it was managing perceptions for stockholders seemed, and I want to be fair, more important than actually delivering a great product and what is best for the customer, and then charging a fair rate so it's a win-win for them, a win-win for me, in the sense of I've got to make enough profit to keep going. So getting involved in the business is working for many years in it. Then around 2006, I really realized how much I love training. And my friend David Williams was teaching around the state, the small business centers. And I said, well, let me come along with you. Well, we just had a great time. I mean, it was at the end of the class, it was like, well, I love taking care of the people and I love teaching them and you love it. And I want to be more involved in it. And when David moved on to other things, he basically let me take over the business. And that's when I had the gift of being able to teach all over the state through the small business centers, and realized how critical it is that we serve the small community and we really start from the ground up. And that's what I've been doing pretty much since 2008, which brings me to today. And I've learned so much about what a wonderful state I live in. And I've spoken around the United States in keynote addresses from what I've learned teaching around North Carolina, and seeing a lot of the solutions can be made by us just falling in love with our own community and finding what's great and getting our friends to be more involved and buy that extra product from the local store instead of the Starbucks. And that's what drives me. My core mission really came about through doing a lot of personal development work and looking at what do I want to commit my life to? Because just being on this planet for me alone, just being here to serve my own self-interest, didn't seem to be a meaningful enough life to keep me interested. It just didn't. It's like, okay, so then I get more toys and I get things. Not that I don't enjoy technology, but that's not enough. And that's when I really developed the mission that oversees all of my life, which is the mission for helping people live lives that they love, so that on their own deathbed, when they reflect back over their entire life, they're literally moved to tears by the life they lived. The quality of their life was so outstanding, so beautiful a life, that they're moved to tears by the life and they lived. And that only happens by giving to others. It doesn't happen by just serving yourself. And that's the core mission of my life. And I implement this through helping individuals, helping towns, helping businesses, helping communities, and having the gift of being part of their world.